Boo! Welcome back to Brinth Lab, where we transform obstacles into opportunities and anxiety into strength. Everyone has a different take on God, whether or not there is one or many, what form it takes, how involved in our lives it is. But there's one thing we can all agree on: it's not you. Even so, I bet you have moments where you think life is all about you. Hey, me too. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But you should know, your illusions of control or self-importance are not underpinned by love or motivation like you might think. They are rooted in fear. By the end of this video, you'll have learned how so-called advancements in society have created the illusion of control, and why that's not the full story. You'll learn the difference between shaping the creation and being the creator. We'll talk about what we can actually control and what we must learn to accept, and how striving for control can create even more fear of losing it. The illusion of control. In modern society, we are surrounded by advancements that give us the feeling of control. We can manipulate our environment, granulate our schedules, access information instantly. It feels like we are in charge. Technology, medicine, social media. It all feeds into the sense that we are masters of our fate. But here's a reality check. No matter how much control we think we have, we're not in control of the bigger picture. We are not God. We can shape creation, yes, but we didn't create the universe, life, or our consciousness, which is in fact what gives us the ability to shape things. We are participants in a much bigger process. You are part of creation, not the creator. So what are we in control of? It's tempting to believe we are creators of our destiny, but at best, we are shapers of creation. We are part of creation, a piece of the puzzle, not the hand that moves the pieces. Think of it like this. We can plant seeds, but we can't make them grow. We can influence the outcome, but we don't have ultimate power over it. The Serenity Prayer and accepting what you can't change. This brings me to the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It perfectly captures this idea. There are things we simply cannot control. Our mortality, the passing of time, other people's actions. Trying to control them only leads to frustration and anxiety. But there are things we can control. Our attitude, our actions, and how we respond to what happens in life. When you really think about it, all we're really in control of is our response to our immense lack of control. The key, I suppose, is just acknowledging this. Is the human experience about gaining control? So is part of the human experience about pushing for more control? Yes and no and kind of and I don't know. On one hand, striving to improve, influence, and create change is part of human nature. It's how we evolve, innovate, and make life better for ourselves and for others. But on the other hand, the more control we seek, the more we fear losing it. Think about it. The more money you have, the more afraid you are of losing it. The more influence or power you gain, the more you fear being dethroned. This constant push and pull creates anxiety because deep down, we know we're not in control. The true power lies in acceptance of lack of control. Imagine the superpower-like quality of not being impacted by external circumstance. Does more control create more fear? It's a paradox. We think gaining more control will make us feel safer, but it often has the opposite effect. Once we have control, we become obsessed with holding on to it. The fear of losing control can actually become more overwhelming than not having control in the first place. As Anthony DeMello said in Awareness, all suffering is caused by my identifying myself with something. Our true selves are never threatened. It's our identification with control, status, or power that creates this fear. What can we control? On a high level, we are only in control of our response to our immense lack of control. We can choose how we respond to situations. We may even be able to influence a situation, but we can't guarantee an outcome or control the situation itself. We can choose how we think about the world, but we aren't in control of the world. Accepting this gives us peace. When we let go of the need to control everything, we can focus on what really matters. Our response mechanisms, which are malleable, our inner state, our growth, and our connection to others. Let's recap. We've learned that while modern society gives us the illusion of control, we are not God. We are shapers of creation, not creators. We can influence outcomes, but we can't guarantee them. We're not in full control. The Serenity Prayer reminds us to accept the things we can't control, change the things we can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. And finally, more control doesn't necessarily make us feel safer. It can create more fear of losing what we've tried to gain. Here at Brinth Lab, we blend physical fitness, mental health, and spiritual principles to help you overcome anxiety and lead a more fulfilling life. You can think of us like your personal trainers for anxiety. We can connect, we can coach you, and we look forward to getting to know you and walking this path together. So if you are struggling with anxiety, please take the first step and reach out to us at care@brintlab.com. Remember, you are the universe, expressing itself as human for a little while. I am really looking forward to seeing you next time. Stay strong and keep experimenting.